Welcome back to the Couch Friends on the Everwatch This channel. I'm your host today, Sante, and I am joined once again with Eric.
Hello, everybody.
And Michael.
Good to see you all.
And, jump on the couch. Don't mind the stains, or mind them. I don't really care. Our presenter today is...
It's not me this time.
That's your problem, yeah.
So I guess I'll be the one hitting the nail on the head. And this time we are going with another animation. This one, well, first of all, it's Steins Gate, which
All right.
Some of you may or may not heard of the IRL lore for this, but it's based on this early... So back in the early 2000s, late 90s, there was a man who called himself John Teeter who went online and, at the very least, posed as a time traveler, spilling tidbits not only about the future, but about his time travel device and like what was going on in his time period. And this show is loosely based on that, and you'll find that there's a lot of... there's a lot of nods to it, but there's a lot of direct correlation with stuff that actually happened in real life, which I find super fascinating. So I was into the John Teeter lore well before this anime, and as I was watching it, like, it's a straight comparison for some of the stuff, and I was like, oh my god, is this really where it's going? And then it goes there, and I, like, fangirled the hell out of it.
You fangirl. I'm
So
not shocked.
you're saying what you're trying to say is you're a fan of this property.
Oh, I'm a big fan. I can't even remember how long ago I watched this, but it's funny enough, this came out in late 2009. It started off as a visual novel, and weirdly enough, it came out for the 360 first, I believe.
Really? And
then it went to the PlayStation 3. It obviously went to like Windows, iOS, and that type of stuff. It's kind of weird for it coming out of the Xbox first, but it came out with this company called 5PB and Nitropolis, I believe it was. But the one thing I really appreciate about visual novels, not that I've really indulged on them, but they're very story-based. Obviously, the artwork is usually emphasized on, but with there not being a lot of gameplay aspects other than click this button or choose this path line, like, they can really hammer down the animation and the story. And that you can also focus on, it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure where you can focus on branching paths, which this property has been known to do. Obviously, the anime is going to kind of follow one person through what he goes through.
With the background lore, it also kind of lends itself to branching paths when you think about time travel.
Yeah, exactly, too. So it's very much... I'm trying to remain as unbiased as possible. But
it's hard to explain.
Every little bit of its production lends to the creativity of the product. It's not even the second... It's not even the first novel that was written for this universe. There's another one called Chaos Head, and although nothing what I've seen of it, because I watched it a while ago, would directly correlate, it's kind of pretty big universe for like such a kind of a what would seem like a smaller property.
Well, Sante's clearly a fan of this, and I am sort of in the middle ground in that I know of the real lore of the John Titor story. And I know what Sante has told me about this property because he's actually suggested I watch it before, but I have not seen it.
Now I have him at gunpoint.
Yeah.
So
Put that down!
So
Say the line!
You've actually wanted me to watch this, and I actually started watching a little bit of it, but unfortunately never got back to it. However, I did actually see Chaos Head, and I never even realized that actually fit. Nor have I ever heard of the whole John Teeter thing.
Yeah, so it's cool, like with most of the things we've been presenting, that each of us comes with it from a different perspective. Obviously, we have our own tastes and biases, but that aside,
different levels of familiarity.
Exactly.
Like, what I know of it mostly comes from the Coast to Coast AM radio show, which is where a lot of the John Titor stuff was first heavily publicized.
Yeah, I go on these rabbit holes on the internet, and I remember some of the forums that I discovered that were talking about it, and then I dug deeper and deeper. But my view on it was very much from stuff I would read or find or research online, and it's that type of stuff. Like, I love first of all, I gotta say I love like your typical shonen anime, like Dragon Ball Z or Black Clover, some of the Naruto stuff, Bleach. But
it's over the top.
As a complete like flip on that, I really like the stuff that not only digs deep but does a lot of world building and lore. Like if you something that shows like not just a lot of creativity, but like a lot of care for the product itself is just something I absolutely love. One thing to note about this, so this anime came out in 2011. This anime is set in 2010.
All right, so made it pass.
A little bit older. The art still holds up. It still looks beautiful, which again, kind of is lended by the original production of the visual novel.
I'm face palming over here that 2010 is old.
Yeah,
oh
right.
My God.
Yeah.
Well, another thing to note too. So, weeb-isms aside, I do typically like, at least for older anime in general, not saying this is older, but I mean it is, but old anime, typically the dub kind of sucks, and there's very few of shows where I can look back like early or maybe even late 90s where I can be like, this was done really well. Ironically, some of the Disney properties I think were done better with a lot of like inflection in the voice and a lot of life to the characters. But I feel like a lot of the characters done in early dub for anime were maybe, I want to say half-assed, but the lines were delivered very flatly and without life.
Seems like there was a lot less effort because they didn't think there would be that big of an audience.
That, or at least maybe just like the production, how animation works, especially with like how expensive it is to make a cells. It's less money to have a still head and just move the flaps.
Well, I'm not talking about visual production. I'm literally talking about the voice.
Oh, okay.
Like even in the early Naruto days, when it got translated over to English, the characters sound the same to me, and it sounds really stupid because, like, obviously English is my native language, and I did experience the subbed version or the Japanese subbed version first, but it kind of opened the gates for me to really see like, wow, these characters have a lot of emotion behind them, and then to come to the English dub where it seemed like a lot of it was just kind of
people phoning it in.
Oh, exactly. I'd say people just phoning it
doing
in.
This between the three other jobs.
It's like there's certain characters, especially well-known voice actors who voice characters in like Dragon Ball Z, and every character they voice for every intellectual property that's not Dragon Ball Z sounds like the same exact character, and it's like, I get that some of these guys are popular and they do good at what they do, but like there's no range in creativity.
It almost seems like that they're just doing it for the paycheck. They're not actually devoting their time into at least putting their emotion to it.
For me, it would seem like an earlier Jim Carrey movie, and him playing the same character, which could be the bit, like if it's a sequel or something, but like him never changing his comedy up for anything that passed that. So it's like always the same level of comedy.
Or just Sean Connery being Sean Connery in every movie he's in.
Or Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And everything,
There are a couple people like that.
There are a couple people that can pull it off. But when it can make or break the show, I feel like it only hurts the product.
Yeah.
To kind of flip into that, and I'll try. I mean, I could talk about this forever. Tell me to shut up. I'll shut up and watch.
Speaking of which, can I remove the shackle off my leg so I can at least go take a pee break?
No pee breaks allowed.
What you're really getting into
Use
here
your stadium, buddy.
God damn it.
We're never, ever going to get up to the level again that Speed Racer was at, are we?
Don't get me started with that, by the way. I can have hours on Speed
I
Racer.
grew up on the show.
Yeah.
I loved it. But come on.
So
He'll be the one at gunpoint this time.
I love Speed Racer. No qualms with me about that.
All right.
But to kind of circle back around, one of the things I absolutely loved about the show and got me so like enroached in it is that the fact that the English voice acting is not only good, it's fucking phenomenal. And I've seen or I've experienced little bits of the original Japanese, and I would argue, and again, try to put my biases aside, but the English dub I would say is if not as good, it's easily better.
There are people with torches surrounding you right now ready to kill you.
I'm clearly
You're making a lot of enemies, my friend.
That's okay.
All jokes aside, I think that people should be allowed to have a preference on those kind of things anyway.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Fandom should really back off and just let you enjoy.
And
one
those
or
aren't
the other.
sirens in the background, are they?
And if I mean, You can clearly see that I don't really sit on either side of the
We're going
fence.
to be
Sometimes I
attacked by
go
a bunch
back
of
through.
overweight otaku now.
No.
But I think a lot
Power
of
of
that,
Cheetos compel you.
like just like how one person can kind of ruin it, there's definitely one person who can kind of bring it up. And there's the guy who actually worked on the script primarily and actually voice acts the main character. Is J. Michael Tatum.
Yeah.
Don't know if you're familiar with him. He's been in things like Initial D. He was Ryosuke. He was in, Mike, you would know this. He was Katsuya in Speedgrapher.
Yep, I remember that.
He was Scar in Full Metal Alchemist. Ryder, to get a kick of that, he was Eru in One Piece. I can see
You're
the
probably
subtitles
butchering
already.
it
I'll
now.
butcher. He's Ida Tenya in Boku no Hero Academia. He was in Hetalia, Attack on Titan. Like, this guy has a huge...
He has a resume.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah. And I honestly, it's kind of funny. And again, I'll try to get to the point quickly, which I have a problem with doing.
We couldn't tell.
So my first experience with this guy was actually at a anime convention, and there was a panel he was doing later at night. Was kind of like a Q&A panel, but it was like stories of J. Michael Tatum, and I can't quite remember what it was called because I literally just walked by. I'm like, oh, this kind of seems fun, so I lined up and jumped in. And as a personality, like, this guy's fucking awesome. Like, again, fangirling a bit, but he just, not only is he entertaining as a host, but he's absolutely hilarious, and he's very passionate, and his characters, like, you can definitely see, like, I hope that this kind of showcases his work very well, but he brings those characters to life, and you can see he gets really behind them. It's not just like, oh, I act like my character, so I am him, but, like, he turns up the dial to, like, 11 of, like, emoting for the character, adding inflection on his words, and really getting behind what he's saying. Even if you don't fully believe what he's saying, you can definitely feel like the character believes what he's saying, and I think that really translates well into the show directly.
You are definitely fanboying, or at least you're earning that bright purple pigtails right now being placed on your head.
But it's the funniest thing too is like I had because I'm not a huge like I follow this voice actor and I follow his work. Like I take every piece of property as it is and be like, well, this is something this guy did, which is cool, but like that's not why I'm getting into it. And when I went to his panel, until he started talking about working on the script for the show and how like the differences of like pop culture references and kind of trying to like not only translate them in like a similar so they have a similar feeling, but you have to obviously if you're talking about a movie in America, and you try to translate it in Japanese, like nobody's gonna probably know what you're talking about unless it's like Star Wars or something. So you almost gotta like spin it but in the same light, and he does that so well in this. But like I honestly had no idea who he was until he started talking about this show and directed. Not then my fangirl pigtails were showing.
It was added with a sailor suit.
What's the name of the episode or episodes that we're going to be watching right now?
We're starting with the very first episode of Steins Gate.
All right.
And if you guys want to follow along, and we might be doing this a different manner because obviously, copyright laws and stuff like that. But, jump right in. You should be able to sync up with us pretty nicely. But without further ado, if you guys...
All right, that's ready.
Grab your popcorn.
Consider, can the universe be justifiably called infinite? Doubtful.
I do like the blending of the animation already. With
It may not
CG
have a
and just
discernible end,
flashes,
but it
of
had a
just
beginning.
cutscenes. Some
Its
actually
component
real
parts
video.
definitely have a limited
There's a
cosmological
lot
shelf life.
of...
They did the same thing with Evangelion.
Splitting hairs or not,
That was something
if
else
history
that we
tells
watched
us
a long time
anything,
ago.
it's that scientists often make
That'd be
very
worth a
poor
rewatch on
poets.
the
Yeah.
channel. Original, not the...
We're all just a
I still
ship of
haven't seen the new
fools
one.
chasing phantoms, heedless of what really underwrites natural law.
So unfortunately, this one you can't turn on subtitles yet, but...
Ocarine!
So it's gonna take a little bit more focus for me to not talk over everything. But I borrowed a ball gag from Mike's collection. So if I need to be outfitted with it, then
Wait, was it the one with the insert or?
stay tuned. There's definitely a lot of anime tropes in this, and like
With to be expected.
yeah,
so.
it covers a lot of everything, but it's definitely a little bit of a deeper anime, and you can enjoy it very much on the surface level, especially once it gets started.
Infiltration commencing.
Characters.
El, Sai, Conquer. Over and out.
But if you want to take a deeper look at it, or like really go deep in the lore, I mean, you can.
Place is
tunnel
a
the China with
mortuary.
that.
Organization stink is all over this.
Why did we come here again?
You're here because I permit you to be.
Look there, child.
Ooh, a time machine. Neat.
I
The
do
good
like
doctor
the.
has beaten us to the
They
punch.
tried to
show
at least
devoted
translate
one.
it for everyone
He
else.
and
Like
his
us, I can't
unqualified
read.
humorous
Yeah,
has
good
broken
effort.
ground on
Yeah.
the invention of the
shaky.
millennium, and I'm morbidly curious to see where our theories intersect, if at all.
I know that voice.
He does a very good job actually matching up with the lip flaps.
The roof.
They did. I mean, I've not really comparing this to anything else, but I did a little bit of research about and hearing him talk about how he actually worked on the script, and man, they put a lot of work into it. It wasn't just like a lot of people get into an anime thinking like, oh, it's just a direct translation and they're trying to match it up, and like, yeah, there are some that they just do that because the A, B, or C.
Is
but this
anything
one
not an
is
emergency?
definitely a product of love.
I'm sorry. I know sometimes it's not, but this one counts for sure. These are really, really rare, and I'm broke.
I look like an ATM to you? Too bad, so
Am I
sad.
money,
you
bitch?
Gus. Life lesson.
Aww.
I want a capsule.
The
I would love
reality
to do an
principle
abridged
does
of the
like to
series.
disabuse us of our whims.
Being honest, I never actually used a capsule machine like that.
No, nothing like
Case
what
in
I'm
point, this one's a dud.
sure we're all familiar with the one sitting.
Look!
on, like, Shaw's
He's
or
metal!
Hannaford. That
I don't believe
little
it! A
ninjas with
metal
sticky
Oompa!
hands for
And that's
25
good.
cents.
Ah! You bet it is!
That seems like a really good interpretation
Yes, well,
of like
you would know better
one
than I.
person finds this extremely rare while the other
Thank
person
you,
finds it
Okarine.
trash.
Oh, Kyoma.
So
Whatever,
forgive me,
you're
but
the
you know, if you
best.
put
My name is a
spiky
matter-
blue gray hair on him, I'm seeing Rick Sanchez in the outfit and the body language.
And dude, you say that now, fucking wait.
Open to attend.
You'll
I'm not gonna lie, the one thing I remember about this series is a banana.
Printed on the handouts
And it's
there in
weird to
front of you
remember.
is more or less the hard blueprint
Where's that
of one
ball
of
gag?
mankind's oldest ambitions.
Okay, you
Of
guys
course,
sit further
the
over that
theoretical
way.
scaffolding makes some
spoilers
explanation.
aside, you
As I'm
quickly
sure
learn
you're
that this
aware,
guy is
mainstream
batshit
science
crazy.
currently
But
boasts something like
Okay, don't be mad.
I'd
I
be
think I
kind.
dropped my Oompa, but I'm looking for it.
Oh my god. This is rare! Find it, I lost
Dimensional
it.
vectors of time
by
travel.
verified experiments, etc. Bringing them under the same umbrella, however, has so far proved elusive.
Doctor!
Save your questions until
I have none, sir. I throw down the gauntlet as to your theory's authorship. Do you take us all for babes in the wilderness? Please, world lines, curved black holes. 2 words, sir. John Teeter. Oh, yes. I submit to all and sundry that you have shamelessly plagiarized the decade-old scratchings of an internet meme.
Oh,
This
please.
is English
Far from
poetry
it, my
class.
friend. Teeter's so-called theories are
We're trying
borderline
to-
schizophrenic.
I'm
Well,
just
you'd
here to get
certainly be in
college
a unique position
babes.
to know. I wonder if you might indulge us with a brief overview of just where your views diverge.
Excuse us.
We're trying to go back to the history of YouTube. Can you please sit down?
So that character, that main character, the man who was just yelling, is J. Michael Tatum. He's the one who.
Who in
worked
the
on
hell are
script
you?
I think that's my line.
For the translated script.
Pardon?
Okay, so what were you trying to tell me back
Queso,
here?
that actually sounds good, right?
Earlier, I mean.
Queso? I am cheese, man.
Quarter of an hour ago?
They let you out of the nut house? Hold on a second. Makise
Let
Kurisu?
me out, I broke out.
The published
He was also
Makise
as batshit
Kurisu.
crazy.
For science?
Okay, that's impressive. I'm guessing you're a grunt in some university lab.
Damn your eyes! What is the organization playing at?
And where's Marty?
I'm sorry. Look, I just wanted to ask you about.
And you're a fool to expect I'll talk. Red alert. I've been cornered by an agent. Possibly
You're
a sleeper.
talking to a
certainly
candy bar.
Who
illustrious.
are you talking to?
Fear not. I'll
Pretty
give her
much.
the slip somehow. Perhaps.
Sir, you're talking to a pet dispenser. Can you please lay it
it's
down? Ooh,
not
mint
on.
flavor.
So she takes his phone and then he quickly sees that it's not even on.
Well, you are a credit to your training, madam. Few discover the ploy. This phone shuts off automatically in all hands but mine, thus preserving the integrity of my communications.
My charisma score is a 21.
And I have an invisible shield that's totally impenetrable to everything.
Clearly, this is asking a lot, but I need you to summon up whatever focus you can spare. Think back 15 minutes. You were trying your damnedest to tell me
minutes is far
something,
too long for me.
and
I'll
going
give you
by the
30
look you
seconds.
had on your face, it was worth hearing.
Nice. But don't think to ensnare me with this gambit. And rest assured, when next we meet, I shan't be caught off guard so easily.
My
Very
virginity will
well.
still stay.
Wait, I.
Don't attack my chastity!
We are gonna weave out too
So
much.
even by his movements, you can tell it like freaked him out, which I
Yep.
love.
Still seeing Rick Sanchez.
I think I'd remember.
Don't touch me,
meeting
please.
And one of the things I absolutely love, which I actually didn't even notice until now, is that in the Japanese translation, it was a bit different when she took the phone. It was very similar, but the feeling of him not only just translating the words, but translating like the feeling
There
of the
you
lines,
are.
I think comes across awesome.
My
Because
ear.
if you compare
Where
these
have you
two
been?
one to one,
What
you'll
do
feel
you
like a
mean?
lot of
I
the stuff
texted.
is like, all right,
My
he didn't say the
opus
same
gone
exact
missing.
thing.
Also,
That's
there's
his
Marty.
name on it and
Yeah.
everything.
He doesn't say the same
Drop it
exact
somewhere.
thing, but like the feeling
his
of
line.
like what he was trying to like
You
bring
have
across.
any idea how much a metal Oopa goes for
spot
on
on.
eBay?
I'm gonna
We're
have to
talking
look up what else he's
10,000
done
yen.
because I know the
10,000
voice.
yen?
I was,
Yup.
I just to kind of give me some
Well,
previous
don't just
research on
stand
the
there.
episode.
That little bauble could be the lab's ticket back to the black.
Yeah, he's been a
I'm
lot.
not gonna sell my friend.
Just imagine all the gloriously wicked experiments we could get off the ground.
That's
with
worth that much?
10,000
Oh,
yen.
fuck, let's find it.
I'm not
Which
gonna sell.
they spent like it was like 980 yen. It was like almost $9 US dollars in today's standards.
Whoa.
The building just
outside.
climaxed.
Someone lost their chastity.
Not my chastity.
Anything but
I
that.
shouldn't have put you in that storeroom with the broom. The broom was looking at me very funny.
Quick, where's my ball gag?
I know you're there.
I do like the music score already. Well, fuck.
Yeah, so this quickly goes from like
I want to make a her time of the month joke, but that's a little beneath me.
it's Shark Week.
Shark Week.
This quickly goes from like goofy character, like outrageous comedy to like
Suspense thriller.
yeah,
It was mine.
it touches on a lot of ideals, and you'll have to kind of bear with it because there is a lot of confusing shit, and we do it for a reason. But you'll see.
Hey, Ocarine!
Sometimes it makes a better story because you have to keep on asking questions at the end.
Hey, you
definitely
feel
one of
alright? Because you look like you're about to throw up.
Someone's been murdered.
It answers everything.
The 8th floor.
But it asks questions. Again, I'm trying to.
Such as, why isn't anyone moving in Japan?
Well,
Because it's too expensive to
funny
sell.
you would mention that.
I don't know why, but some of those cutscenes remind me of a mystery game.
Suddenly
that
we're
came
at the
on
beginning of
PlayStation.
Vanilla Sky.
We'll have to get there at some point. but
Hello?
It actually does feel very reminiscent of that. Oh, no, I've never made that direct comparison, but
Oh, that was an old movie that was basically like an apocalypse of what would happen if everyone watched this comet, and then everyone disappeared that watched the comet go by.
So Heaven's Gate, the movie?
yeah.
No,
Jump
no,
on, everybody.
I think it's actually called Night of the Comet.
Bottoms up.
Okay.
Is that Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper has made it through.
What the hell is this?
A drink?
No,
Oh, there's
I
a
mean,
K-Book store?
everyone
Great!
just disappeared.
Did?
Yes! A moment ago there were people here.
Really?
Stop kidding around. You had to have seen it too. Tell me you saw it too.
I
Notice-
didn't.
Even
This is ridiculous.
Like, seemingly coming back to reality, his voice had like a different.
He just shit a stone.
There's a lot of small touches that, like, given this being like my third or fourth viewing, maybe more.
Well,
There's a lot of stuff that I'm
fuck.
even noticing now. But there's a lot.
Don't play games. I know you're watching. That's right, freak. It behooves you nothing to ignore me.
It's talking to you, Michael.
Well, I
Take
know
a good
that,
look.
but-
Quaff deeply from the trough of future shock. Allow that woolly
Wait, that can't be
blade
talking to me. I'm
stricken
there
with
at
envy.
the desk.
Before speaking to member
I know that round body anywhere.
Lab founder, evil genius, and mad scientist extraordinaire. 'Tis I, Hoin Kyoma.
I still think that Ocarine sounds way cuter.
Silence! My nom de plume is for special missions only. The girl is known as 002, my assistant, cosplayer, and resident
002.
female, Sheena Mayuri.
Do-do-do. I prefer Mayushi.
Next up, I give you Hashida Itaru, our hack Member 003.
Oh, he's a hack. It's definitely me.
The way you say it makes no sense.
Please.
Stop third degree in the little guy, will ya? It's getting painful. Bad enough you yoinked him out of the 80% off bin.
Heed me. To find us, pry open the tiny door, hang a left at Red Queen's Ersatz Botanical, and we're 2 blocks up in the warehouse
go
lofts just before
fucking
March
nuts.
Hare's haberdashery. Chaos is our prime directive,
everything.
to pitch the world on its ear via the maddest of
Flamethrower
mad
Howard,
sciences.
sir.
If you knew all of this prior, continue to stare blankly.
Yeah, the opening scenes of
just as I
Evangelion, they weren't they weren't killing the monster. They were trying to kill all
Hey
the
guys, you know
cicadas.
what?
I've been playing Napalm Death. Well, actually creating Napalm Death.
Maybe we could stitch together an 8-bit Turing test / first-person shooter and
We're
find out.
talking
Ooh,
about
and we could
creating
use
a
it on
Turing
your
test
2D
for
girlfriends
the
to
little
see if
llama
they're really
mans.
into
Yeah.
you.
They're not girlfriends.
That was too
They're
much coffee and not
harem. I
enough
work very
ramen,
hard
right?
for it.
No one wants to discuss your den of iniquity.
We were just having a lively back and forth about the age-old
Quaker
question of
Oats.
whether or not the world as
Oh my
is
God, that's just
some high-res
disturbing.
RPG programmed into
That's just
existence by
disturbing.
higher intelligence.
It's not.
How do you-
Stop! Turn away!
Because
God
as a
damn it! I
concept,
don't get
it's
that on the screen
absolute bunk.
anymore.
Why is he
Because
giving me the
every moment
bedroom
we
eyes?
fritter away pondering
Why is
such
it?
nonsense, we lose time more fruitfully spent
why is he
devising ways
Captain
to unravel
Morgan
the
again?
organization's plan.
Oh yeah, my bad. Didn't mean to take us down the rabbit hole there.
Hold thy tongue, hack. You are addressing the
Wait,
rabbit
did he
hole's
use the old
preeminent
language?
denizen, Hoin Kyoma.
Anime pose. I love how we like anime poses.
Sorry.
This is a Sentai movie now.
Mark me, my
Well, like,
porcine
he
friend, one
pretends
of these
it's like he
days will
plays
despair
up
to
the
have missed
character
even the least of
to
my
the-
utterances.
to, like, the umpteenth
Exactly
level
why
for
I
everyone
back
else
up every
acting
insane
normal.
outburst in
Alright,
triplicate,
probably a poor
Chief.
choice for background foreground.
Prince
When he was
Chopper's gotta be
facing
on the scene
there,
by
I thought he
now.
had something in his mouth. No, it's the umbrella in the background, just perfectly across his mouth.
The object appears to be a satellite. As
Well,
you can probably
shit.
judge for yourselves at home, it's massive. Even from
Okay,
our view on the streets,
retracing
it's several
steps.
stories below the roof of the radio
Mairi came with me to see Dr. Nakabachi's showboat this morning. I remember that. We left a lap together, in fact. We were standing in the doorway of a half-empty lecture hall when the crash happened. But then what?
Then he blacked out.
I did?
Yeah, I was right there with you. We saw the crash on the news and you said, the organization has made its move at last, or whatever. Then we ran straight there to have a good look.
Canceled?
How can you be surprised? You were ranting sideways about it this morning, said the doc got cold feet.
No. Nakabachi's lecture started at 12 o'clock on the dot.
Sorry, dude. You're having a stroke or something. It was canceled. Good thing, too.
I know
They'd
how
be
hard
scraping
it is
you
to
off the
find a
bottom
shirt
of
that
that
actually fits your
satellite if you
body.
hadn't been.
Unless that's what you think. Honestly.
Has the organization been tampering with my memory? Of course. It's absolutely clear. Steins
It's
Gate
not
has
my
chosen.
fault. It's someone else's fault.
And here we go. Another reference no one gets but you.
Oh God.
Consider your audience
That
once in a
is
while,
me.
huh?
Daru, future gadget number 1.
Alpaca Man's mad. You changed the channel on him. He's very
Here.
sensitive.
Hack him, man.
One of the coolest remotes.
Damn you, Mr. Braun.
Is it
Shoddy
actually
equipment will be
remote?
our death.
What'd you expect? He gave it to
It
us
just
for
it
free.
looks like a toy. And not the kind of toy you
Hoist
give to a
this
kid.
fossil.
Give the hack thing a rest. And no, it's
It
a
even
sauna
has a
out
Jimmy
there.
cap.
Just because I've got some meat on my bones doesn't mean I'm, like, strong.
He
Mutiny!
brings up such a good point.
Yeah.
So many big people are like, oh, I'm super strong because I'm big. Like, no, you're just
Mister!
big.
Now that guy is super strong.
It's Mr. Tenoji or it's nothing, I told you.
That voice actor sounds
I
familiar.
require repairs now, or else.
Oh, the hell you do with it now? Ah, you
That's
psycho
Sabbath,
screw up
isn't it?
everything you lay your damn hands on. That'll be
Yep.
1,000 yen.
That is outright extortion, sir! I will not stand here and
I could
be
always
fleeced!
toss you out of your digs if you'd rather.
Damn the vagaries of haggling.
When are you gonna wise up and run with a better crowd, girly?
I don't think I really have a choice.
Oh,
I'm a
God.
hostage, you know.
Yeah, I swear, one of these days. Oh, you kidding? The electron gun's fried. That'll cost you double. Take it or leave it. Your decision.
There's a lot of little stuff they mention or show in this
New
for like a
development.
brief second. If you
The
miss it,
organization has apparently
like,
hit cue ball into the corner pocket.
it's
Our
like
enemies
kind of
multiply.
like a lot of foreshadowing, just different like little tells, which is cool.
More Dr. Pepper.
You sure guzzle that stuff like it's going out of style.
Oh yes, it's the only thing that survives when everyone else
Exemplary
disappears.
IQs, this stuff is nothing short of ambrosia.
Oh God.
If that's what you're gonna call it.
Yes,
The one
use
thing I
King's
strongly
language.
disagree with the show about, Dr. Pepper.
You know what? Technically, it's older than Coca-Cola.
Listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're singing.
it's also pretty much my favorite. Even
Oh
though I
God,
love
kill
Coca
that
too.
thing.
That's kind of why I was thinking like him calling it
Naru?
Ambrosia might even be a nod to it
Seems our
being
landlord
like
has finally gone
medicinal,
over to the
quote
enemy.
unquote, when it was originally.
Was originally
The drink of the gods.
Thine
Exactly.
Omega must be set in motion.
I don't know that for
Alrighty.
certain,
This
but
is no time to be
It's a
glib.
theory.
We must
Just-
conduct
No,
a
it's
judging by
verifiable
their
field
writings.
test for future
Despite what
gadget
you think, it
numero
just tastes
8.
good. You're
Right,
completely
the phone
wrong.
wave,
Your
real
opinion
name
is moot.
TBA.
I don't drink soda anymore, but
Okay.
that still
How
looks
do you
good.
field test a kitchen appliance?
3.5 years now, yes? That's how long you and I have known one another?
Only if we're counting the year and some change of high school when we were in different classes and never said a word to each other.
Details, details.
Like most friendships
Point
nowadays.
He's
is,
not
our
delusional.
friendship spans the abyss
I
of
remember
time.
you. You're an
One would
asshole,
imagine
brother.
I must be Monica by this stage.
Scary thought.
is that Jujutsu Kaisen?
If you want to give the ring
Wow.
another whirl, though, I'm down for
Although
it.
that's actually a good series.
Banana
though.
002.
Why? You're just gonna nuke
007's
the
not
thing
here anymore.
and
Come
make
on.
it all icky.
Steal yourself, woman. This
Banana.
is
That's what I
science.
remember.
Well, it's your experiment. Bet you'd think it was pretty wasteful if you paid for these yourself, though.
Yes,
Little
yes.
comments like that really bring life to the character. Like,
Welcome
really?
to the
Alright.
radioactive entree navigational gopher for your phone wave. To set time, press the numerical keys corresponding to the desired allotment of seconds,
Did they
followed
just
by
stumble?
the pound sign.
Yeah.
1,
So you
2,
can tell
0
it's like
pound.
my Yuri like reading a script as the character. Like, just
Solid
attention
turntable
to
action.
detail. Like a good-
Clockwise.
good D&D
Unique for a
story.
microwave, I notice.
Clockwise. There's significance buried somewhere in that
Also,
fact.
that's
I
a-
can feel it.
That's a microwave about the
Approach from a
burnout.
quantum
I
perspective.
love the
Hand's
detail in the
rule of
sound
maximum
effects.
Don't
multiplicity.
get ahead of yourself.
No, of course.
Who here has
Thank
actually
you.
had a microwave blow up on him?
I was going to ask you who has had a microwave banana. I'm like,
Oh
Typical
God!
result. Great big gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts.
Doesn't do that to my chicken tenders.
The microwave might be a little overpowered if it's making everything
Steins
green.
hypothesis.
Just what I was thinking.
No, Eric, it's the
Stifle, eat
microwave
one for
made for you.
verification.
It turns
Else
everything to
no.
Mountain Dew.
Also, everything's
The
living
honors go
still
to
on
you,
that
my
thing,
lovely.
which is creepy.
Do I have to? The bananas get all gross and floppy. I don't really like the way they taste.
You've eaten one?
Mayushi. Huh? Could you give me that spiel again? Only instead of gross, could you say wet?
Alrighty, the bananas get all wet and floppy.
Stop
Oh,
stop
God
stop
damn it.
He's already like started.
I already hate my person now.
View of the sixth dimensions, not to mention the damage it caused to the building's roof. We'll circle around
I'm
again
totally
when you-
dying here.
Been outside all of 10 minutes.
Hey, put yourself in my shoes. It's a lot farther than a guy like me usually ventures on foot in the summer. Why can't they do it at Queen May's?
Because a college wants nothing to do with a maid cafe.
But I
Well,
have
the
something to
deeds
do with
are
a maid
big. With
cafe.
that attitude.
he's like walking off. He's like, yeah, I guess the college isn't for
Air
me then.
conditioning. I can feel the life coming back.
There's no way in hell the satellite can be just a coincidence.
You still harping on that?
You're telling me you're not the least bit curious to see the crash site?
Like we'd see anything through the crowd. Besides, I'm keeping tabs on the whole shebang via the interwebs.
Besides, Star Trek's coming
Extra
on.
vacation days.
We
Another
have to
holiday.
get back.
No, it's not Star Trek.
Wait a minute, of
Stargate.
course. Give me your
Elevator,
phone.
I got
for?
Scotty. Beam!
Violation of my basic rights,
I sent you a
douchebag.
text. About
You
Marky
beam up
Seikari's
hard enough,
murder.
shit your
Dude,
pants.
that was like so last week.
Last week?
You broke it up into 3 parts. Spam monkey.
Literally talking to him about the
See?
message he sent like this morning. and the day
July
before.
23rd, 12:56 p.m. What?
Yep.
And that's
What
the message he sent.
Hang on,
when
my outbox.
everything went to batshit.
Where is it? What's today?
Huh? It's the 28th. Why? Spill it.
My text traveled backward in time.
What?
Oh, she cleaned up.
Time traveling text program. Why didn't I send the lottery number?
No, it's used for booty calls. Come on, man.
Only a flip phone? Oh, come on.
Well, it's a burner phone, so it's like
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
behind it.
Don't be knocking flip phones. That's all I have.
Who in their right mind has a flip phone? Oh.
To be fair, I don't even want that.
So we'll jump right into the next episode and make sure it's actually the right one. Thoughts so far?
I'm shocked that I actually remembered a little bit about this. A lot of the dialogue I did not remember, but I actually remembered the whole, like some of the imagery, like again, the bananas,
Yeah.
the satellite, her being dead.
What are you doing?
Impossible.
Yes, that physique is impossible.
How?
I want it!
You're
This
You're
is
alive!
not a natural hair color.
Are you a zombie?
I'm about to scream bloody murder here.
I expect a slapping
Look, I
right
only
now.
want to get to the bottom of
That's a
this.
pretty honest reaction for
Where are the
most of them.
stab wounds?
What is your trauma? Get away from me!
Feel free to slap him if he gets too grabby.
You were
I
skewering
agree.
like a pig! I saw it plain as day! Not more than 3 hours ago during Dr. Nakabachi's lecture!
Snay on the AZ crate, dude. We've been over this. The doctor's lecture never happened, remember?
But I...
Excuse me.
So that's a
They're ready for you now,
pretty
ma'am.
earnest reaction, I would think, from
Come
everyone.
you
She's
can't
like
just
so.
don't
in-
Get the fuck away from me, please.
You are sick.
Far from it. I am Hoin Kioma!
Superhero master.
Saying it that way doesn't make you sound less sick.
Oh, we actually get credit for this guy.
Yeah, this is the opening scenario. So like a lot of them, it kind of just leads right into the show, paying homage to the original producer of the visual novel. 56 too. I mean, I like it.
It's quite catchy. There had to be a maid.
So even like, there's not like fan service in this really, but there's like the moments like she's talking about with the banana. But like everything kind of has its meaning. They're not just like, oh, tits on a pig for science. It's like even like little nods to stuff. Like it really showcases him as an otaku to like him to say stuff like that in his character. Which
He definitely explains that he has been alone for a very, very, very long time. Step back, ladies. No, seriously, step back. I'm crazy.
But even like that first interaction of like, he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, in such disbelief, he's poking in the face. She's in such shock, she's like,
Who the hell are you?
Like, barely responded, push him. And then, you know, the third party's like, just fucking hit him.
Please stop.
And that, to be honest, the first episode, like, I mean, like most, it's only a little bit of a taste, but it doesn't even really give you a good taste of the series. I feel like the second episode, by the end of it, you're like, okay, I can really feel like what I'm getting into with this, and you know, but let's
First
continue.
off, thanks for
very
Oh,
coming.
good.
Mind
Sciencey
I
magazine.
It's
the
only fair to
finest
warn you,
of
I'm
science,
really
come on.
not all that
Generic
accustomed to
science term.
speaking publicly, so you'll have to strap in and bear with me a little bit.
Wow, she's cutting her teeth on us.
Wait, you never went to sciencey class?
So I guess a zombie's out of the question.
No.
Will you get over this, please?
Time machines will be the focus
Yeah,
of
wait
our
till you
discussion
see
this
Matho.
afternoon.
Let me ask.
Kind of left field from the topic covered in my article, I realize, but I'll try my best to sound semi-coherent.
Coincidence, surely.
Personally, my assertion is that they're no more real than the boogeyman.
was gonna say, please don't
Tantalizing
talk
to
about
consider,
assertion.
perhaps,
She's
but
an
framed
assertion,
objectively,
right?
something any
You are the
serious
otaku.
physicist simply outgrows.
Did I deny?
I'm sorry?
No more real than the boogeyman.
Yep, he is hiding. I love
Your
that.
evidence, skeptic,
He's like,
please.
I'm not affiliated with this crazy man.
That's not really
Even that's something like I didn't notice until now.
Me neither since the last time.
well-established theoretical foundations in virtually every branch of physics argues against the idea I'm not a lone nut.
Pray continue.
I do like the
All right
intellectual
then.
fight.
Fine. You're so keen, let's do this open forum. Wouldn't want the conversation hijacked by entrenched naysayers, now would we?
She's like, you want a box?
Agreed? Ho in Kioma?
He's like, I'm so smart.
Sentai pose, Sentai pose, Sentai pose. Damn it!
Does a Sentai pose when they're defeated?
Oh god. They do that when they're defeated.
Infuriating.
Safe to say, string theory doesn't jibe with the notion of bouncing around through time in a blue police box, however charming that sounds.
Wow, that
Any
reference.
argument from you, sir?
Again, that's what I'm talking about.
So much for Goodle's view. Let's forge ahead to the next contender.
Pop
That
culture
is, I should
references
say,
kinda
if I'm not moving too fast.
Cater to this audience.
That concludes my reasoning with regard to the quantum view. Unless, of course, the gentleman would like to point out something I missed. Feel free to jump in, sir.
Why must you be so damnably articulate? Blast.
I'm gonna leave you to ramble.
And she's an actual scientist. What the hell?
Clearly, the bastards mean for this
We've all
to
felt that
escalate
way when we get
full-out
a
psychological
verbal
warfare.
boxing match with someone.
Easy enough, though.
Why can you
Just
talk
beef
so
up my
much gooder than
defenses.
me?
Gooder.
I'm a smart boy too. I hate my Wheaties.
The way you said that reminded me of Kung Pao Enter the Fist for some reason. I'm a big boy to you now. I pee standing up.
9, 1 more to go. You can do it.
9? Yeah, 2 more to go. 1 and 1.
10. And the victorious. Oh, hey, Ocarina's here.
Was she swinging around a live blade?
Okabe. Kyomo.
With no guard!
Don't tell me
Yeah,
the password has slipped your mind yet again.
Oh god, the weave is coming out.
Elsai Concrete?
Congru, I'm sure you mean.
That's the one, yes.
Concrete, that's exactly what's in your brain right now.
To carry.
Oh, it's right here. I kinda... Well, you might say I wasn't expecting the shrine to give us so much corny goodness.
Father received them as a gift, but we can't eat enough to keep it from going to waste.
Works out for us. Your donation to the lab is most appreciated. No doubt it'll give member morale a little boost.
Really?
And popcorn.
You're not just saying that, are you?
Don't you think Ruka's sword practice is starting to pay off?
Thank you. Oka, I mean,
I was supposed to say
Kyomo wanted
Tenchi
me to
Mario
show
all the
some
way!
discipline.
The Samadare blade is very close to revealing its otherworldly secrets to you, I'm certain. Keep at it, and you'll be a worthy wielder in no time.
Yes, sir.
And to think, you found it in the weapon shop for only 980 yen.
That's
and
a
they didn't
tongue
even
twister.
know it was
980
magical and stuff.
Well then,
$10.
let us inspect your progress, Grasshopper. Demonstrate an exorcism.
Well, sure, I
Young
guess.
Grasshopper. I never caught that.
Except I don't really perform them all by myself. Father's usually...
A malign spirit has taken possession of my right hand, Rukiko! Banish it before I'm forced to do something unseemly!
Be right back.
That spirit sure likes messing with
Does
you
he
while
come
you're
back with
here.
a chainsaw and lop his hands off?
It is insatiable.
Let's go, Ash!
You know, to be honest, now that you mentioned it, there might even be a
Delicate
reference
as an
to
orchid,
Evil Dead.
fair as a cherry blossom. The personification of feminine grace. And a dude. Tall as a willow, slender as a reed. A dude. Even shrine vestments. Dude.
He is still weaving out.
Slow in a rosy sky. Cicadas buzz. Ruka
Waiting for a dude.
is a dude.
That was
That was
really
great.
unexpected.
Yeah, that was unexpected,
Wonderful.
and I loved it still.
Being in good with the shrine has
Such
its
grace,
Take
dude.
Oopsie.
Joke's on you. 002 is a dude.
Tell me they blocked this off.
They had to. It leads to the back of the radio building.
That's where they keep the
Guess
bananas.
that makes sense.
Because you will not keep me from here forever!
Oh god, we gotta watch Speed Grapher again. God damn it.
I was thinking about that too.
Oh, that's gonna be a longer one.
We'll have to introduce Eric to that.
I'll take the swag. You've got
If we
work,
do that, we
right?
have to
Hand
show
it
the
over.
outtakes first. Before the series.
Aren't you gentlemen?
Because I almost forgot the most important
No,
part.
we'll have to do it
It's
after.
late
Let's
shift today,
appreciate
so
the way
I'll
we
probably
did.
just
Yeah.
head on home after I
So
get out.
It really helps put in retrospective.
Hey! You, really don't remember hearing that scream this morning?
What? Where?
This was all taking place.
The stairwell of the radio building.
Obviously.
That'd be the kind
You
of
can tell
thing
with
to
like the
stick
sun
out.
setting and everything like that. So.
I think so, yeah.
They could have easily jumped like from one
Well,
day to another.
anyway,
but
never
they
mind.
Fill out this whole experience by being like,
You're
oh,
so
this is all
random
still,
sometimes.
Like, really hitting them hard. 'Cause,
I don't
like,
get
no,
it.
No time has really
No
passed.
one remembers but
Like how
me.
they're actually trying to piece
This isn't
like,
some
every
elaborate prank. I'm
event
losing my
together.
mind.
Even though it doesn't make sense because it seems like it's jumping back and
And
forth.
just like in real life, like I feel like do this a lot in the anime.
Shuttering
where
up early
like, a big
today,
event will
Mr.
happen and
Braun?
they just overlook it. Like, all right, we dealt with it. It's fine. You know, I
Can't
we're a
speak
bad
for this
guy, kill
Mr.
people.
Braun
It's
fella,
something
but I
that's
am,
really weighing on
yeah.
his conscience.
Interviewing a part-timer.
You're kidding me. Has Father Time encroached so swiftly that help is needed to maintain a clientele-free cavern like this?
Come closer and ask.
Hey, you guys!
Oh my god.
Is that a Goonies reference?
Sorry, that's how all the cool kids are saying what's up these days.
I'm guessing she's not here to shop.
You stay out of this. Give me a name.
Amane Suzaha.
Your age.
18.
Reason for applying.
Serious CRT buff.
You're hired.
Nice bit of vaudeville. You should take it on the road.
Should I care what you think?
Not unless you give a crap about some idiot renting the space above us.
An idiot who happens to be none other than
Look, you want me to double your rent?
Okabe Rintar. Have a look. Donations in the form of intelligence core. I could part with an ear for a song.
Brody, looks like it's made of little yellow blisters. Cool to see how it starts out, though.
You've never seen.
Let me touch it.
Easy. Be warned, girl. Many a passing acquaintance of mine has been hounded by the organization. Sarah, dear Claudia, innocent Simone.
That's so tragic. Well, I don't frighten easily, mister.
Please don't encourage the guy. He's whacked enough as it is.
Yeah?
I am not whacked. I'm gonna go
Just keep
upstairs and
telling
microwave
yourself
these
that,
corn until it's ruined.
One day the world shall tremble beneath my feet.
Everything shall be due.
So, evil laughs are trendy.
Just love that smell of unhusked corn.
Oh god, can you imagine taking a bite of unhusked corn? Ugh.
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere who eats it
I
like that.
have, I have never seen anyone eat corn like that.
Then that corroborates
Clearly, you're an
Daru
uncultured
and
swine.
Mayuri.
I am a swine. I said the other computer trying to badmouth this guy.
Are we just going to completely gloss over the Goodle?
No, I saw the Goodle.
Makise Kurisu.
No Goodle for Udle.
Oh god.
Working hypothesis. Reality and my brain are at odds.
And chair to the floor.
No, that's Daru's chair, so I can really sustain some weight.
Very true.
Even though it's not. But
no, there's chairs over there.
What do we have here?
That has the hyper expansion.
This is where Eric starts to geek out.
CERN maintains a strict monopoly on the time machine market.
John
Civilians and corporations
Titsport.
alike are banned from acquiring one. This is how they've been able to implement their vision unchecked. Why the world's the way it is.
Give a little background. Very much
I'm here to
like
reroute the past for the sake of your future. I've come to take down CERN and thwart the dystopian mess they've created in my own time. I'm here to protect freedom.
You're actually mentioning
Are you worried
CERN?
that by being here you run the risk of creating a paradox?
Ah, the so-called grandfather paradox. It doesn't exist. It's possible to meet your past self. You'll simply change world lines if you do. You have to let go of this idea of time as a single line moving from past to future. It's actually comprised of infinite lines all running parallel. We call these world lines. Let's say, for example, someone murdered you. By traveling back in time to prevent it, I create two divergent worlds. One where you're killed, one where you're not. The same basic idea is true of all such actions. The traveler splits off to a different world line.
So his thing now is that he's
The real
Japanese.
question is, are you creating the
He
alternate
rears up
world
on
lines,
U.S.
or
message
were they
boards
always
back in
creation and
2000,
you were just
claiming
acting
he's
them
from
out at that version
2036.
point?
Alludes
shut
to a
up.
war-ravaged future he's traveled back in time to try and steer us clear of.
I'll hold it till after this.
Takes the internet and every underground publisher by storm.
Like
Still,
sound through
though.
the hourglass. Sorry.
You'd think a decade
So
would
it's
have cooled
days
down
of
the
our time
imitators
travel.
by now. Come on, stop giving me dead links. It's annoying.
I can't remember the name.
Damn
of
it,
the
why'd you have to nix all your files on the SOB?
Parallel world jumpers.
It's a quantum.
No, remembering one
Dozen
thing, but
results?
another.
No way!
Thinking
10
about
years
the
ago, every
Mandela
choke with a
effect. Thank you.
.com address was on top of this thing.
Yeah, this came out before.
Impossible.
Really getting onto that theory, which is something I've been
No,
But it
no,
also
this
makes
is
sense,
wrong.
especially with the whole split,
I had
like,
books about him on
the
this
breaks
shelf.
in
I'm
the
certain I did.
Time period.
So he's losing his shit because it's 2010, and where are his John T.
Daru, it's me.
This better be good, dude. I'm with Ferris.
Where'd you move my books?
Sorry?
The ones I had on John Teeter, man. Look, I've always kept them in the same place. Tell me you moved them.
Wait, slow down.
What?
Who the hell is John Teeter?
Oh boy.
Dude?
So you can really see him
I
like
spent
start
all
to
night
make a
trying to
big
turn a
breakdown
pay dirt
about
on the
this.
man. No stone unturned, no
You
forum
signed up like
unscoured.
2010?
Yet.
He's starting to break down like Shinji from Even Going.
I have a
Shinji
question
knows,
for you, Teeter.
Just getting the robot.
About 10
Yeah.
years ago. The year
Getting a
2000.
robot, shut up,
in
no
other
one wants to
words.
hear it.
That's an interesting topic you bring up.
No, don't go into
Unfortunately,
that
however,
hospital.
I've never visited the year 2000, nor do I have any plans to.
So he's clearly socially awkward and like has like a lot of like anxieties, but you can tell he's
Excuse
a
me?
little bit breaking
What in the-
down.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Not so fast. That is to say, hold the phone just a moment, please. Or
She is
rather,
holding the
delete
phone.
the pictures you just took of me from your phone for your own safety.
I'm sorry. Apparently, I've offended you in some way.
What were you taking pictures of?
Evidence. Evidence I was here. I mean, of the stuff I've seen, I suppose you could say.
Oh gosh, she's suicidal.
Can I show you something?
Oh no.
This. Oh wow.
It's my penis.
Quite the dinosaur you've got there, miss.
You're an expert?
Sorry.
Do you know anyone who is?
Well,
how's it run?
A friend of yours, I guess?
I don't think that's any of your business. Kindly delete those pictures if you would.
I need this Daru's contact info, please.
I think not. I don't believe this. You're trying to strong-arm me, aren't you?
I'll delete it if
I
you
think
tell
she's
me.
actually strong-armed.
More ways than one.
Very well, then. But you're mistaken if you think I'll sell out a cohort. I'll give you my contact info.
What name should I type?
Can't you read? It says Hoy and Kilma right there. Fine. Allow me.
Is this Hobag? That's an interesting way to get some guy's number. I want this. No, I'll give you this instead.
Just send
Okay.
me a blank text.
Yes.
Then.
Look
I'll
at my
reply back when I
phone.
have a free moment.
Welcome home, Meowster!
Oh, no.
We've been waiting for you. Oh,
Shouldn't be saying, oh,
I
no.
didn't know it was you. Well, then welcome
Oh,
home,
God.
Meowster Ocarine.
So, how's tricks, Mai?
It's Meowushu and I'm on the clock, silly. Oh, you know what? We should find a way to make your name kitty-ish, too. How about Rounkabe?
Is Daru around?
Oh, he's lounging in the back. Kilma! What happened to your solemn oath to darken our doorway every 3 days, you big goofy
Place is kind of
Frankenstein?
hell, isn't it?
Blame the
Here's
organization.
perpetual hell.
You poor thing! What have they done now? Tell me you've got a plan. Whatever it is, you know we've got your back.
In good time. I'll take my usual stealth field, thank you.
Hang on now.
Remember, this is a
When are you
very
gonna let me
popular thing over
join?
there.
Ferris,
I'm
I cannot let
aware.
you fight my battles in good conscience.
Not even when I've mastered my super secret special move?
What?
Oh god, that hurts
Surely
my
you can't have
brain.
perfected it so quickly.
Oh, but indeed I have. Months of hardship in the Guyana Highlands couldn't deter me, nor the death of my beloved master. No, I have the power!
You do realize I hate you now.
Oh
So
god.
she's
So,
like very
about
much
my
playing
text
the character
message.
to, like,
Seriously,
20th level.
I'm not talking to you.
Jesus
You're
Christ,
dead
that
to
hurt
me.
me internally.
Stop worrying. I have no interest in a girl who spews naught but falsehoods.
Watch
And
it.
a dude.
I can't allow you to talk about my girl that way.
Strong words for a Don Juan.
Oh god, he's
Does
in love
Aaron
with
know
him.
you're here?
Nice try, Chief. It doesn't count if I fool around on him with a flesh and blood woman.
Okay,
Oh,
change the
God.
subject, please.
It is Michael.
Have a look at this.
Whoa.
Your hair.
But I have
That's
a
your basic
girlfriend!
IBM 5100.
Is that a big deal?
Dude, it's not just
Fun is,
retro,
at
it's
the
like
point
the
where you
rarest of
tell
the
him
rare.
No one else has
About
ever
a month
actually
ago, word
seen
through
her.
the
He just
grapevine,
points at
had
an
one floating around,
empty
you said,
wall.
Yes, Michael.
Your new friend and me probably troll the same message boards.
That is
God!
Oh
Oh
Reinhardt couldn't even get a lock on it, so my
That
bet
is
is the
not
whole
the
thing
broom
was
in a
just a
wig.
rumor someone threw out there to light a fire under the local
Wait,
antique.
you know I've
And
been
a
living with
Groucho
for the last
Marx
20
mustache.
years!
Well, it's been about 30 years since they had them on the market. PCs were still so pricey back then, not many
But I
people
have all
had the
these
scratch
phones,
lying
all
around
these
to buy
memories.
one.
All these
Dark
photos.
ages
I
in a
can't
way.
believe they actually included the right model of computer for
Yeah.
those two.
It goes so much
Speak
deeper
of the
than,
devil.
like, again,
would appear
surface
this
level. Like
Kiryu
they
is a
did
woman on a bit
research
of a
for the
mission.
novel.
Does
No
the car
joy,
come
the
into
plot
play?
thickens. She's a freeder. Whatever
Don't
that
wait,
is.
no, don't tell me. It'll
No,
just keep
no,
me
no.
interested.
And evidently only a person.
Are you
of few
trying to
words
peel yourself out here?
Right.
What's up?
You owe me a lunch for not unleashing this chatty Cathy on you, man.
You asshole!
Sorry, no dice. My
No,
sources
he's
say it was probably just a
Certainly,
rumor.
like, yeah, this girl will not stop
sigh.
texting me about trying to get the IBM stuff.
Bon appetit, Meowsters!
Oh, God.
Eat it while it's hot!
Bitchin'! Prepare to be impressed. I'm about to do some damage.
Keep it in
I
your
knew
pants.
we could count on you.
Oh man, this is heaven on a plate.
I'll be sure to send your compliments along to the chef.
That's what I want to see written on my food.
Analysis. The gel
Every time I
nanas,
had-
Your
the
almost don't
two
speak to you
forces
like that?
named have been ripped asunder
No, it was a
into
little weird because the last time I had omelets, it said they're all gonna laugh at you.
They're basically
weird.
mutant bananas, you mean?
Wait, is that an omelet or a fortune cookie, Michael? I
can't be
told you the
good.
difference.
What do you
Well, those
suppose
are
is
portion
causing
omelet.
it?
I
Clearly
think
it
you'll
was.
agree
there
the
you go.
only conceivable explanation
It was
at
eggy.
this stage is some sort of uncommonly
A little
intense
cheesy
EM
too.
wave.
What's your basis?
Visit the
Mad
Meat Cafe.
scientist's intuition, my friend.
Gotcha. Flying by the seat of our pants. Ready when you are, boss.
Superlative.
Cafe, it
Let
was
us
weird.
then
They called it a
commence.
Bro bar.
You really want to use these?
Not 003. These
Let
specimens
go
were
of my
from mother's
banana.
generous donation.
Yeah, they're hers.
We haven't time to quibble over particulars, Hack. This is science.
Okay, but I think one's more than enough.
Just note, while I was willing to up the ante, you remain a one-banana cautious Carl.
You know, I refuse to be insulted
One
by the guy
banana
who named this
cautious
machine.
Carl.
A phrase that clearly has many chances to be used again.
You know what's sad? I actually remember the scene now.
Real name TBA happens to be a clever ruse to throw the organization off our scent.
Well,
Well,
you're
he has
the
such
only
a
idiot here who
rounded
thinks they're
toned
sniffing.
head.
Oh, is that a
If you look at
fact?
his design.
Just calling it
His
like I
nose
see it,
meets to
man.
his lips.
Done.
What is it?
It's gone! Look!
Impossible!
Taken by our two overlords.
Red alert. Implement emergency lockdown protocol Theta 666 immediately.
Scotty, beat my banana back.
Damn you, there's no time to push
Get me
this
the
to
hell off
regular-
the planet!
Seriously.
Is this your idea of a joke?
Hey, if anyone's getting punked here, it's me.
Even
Look,
that's a-
either you palmed it or we have a teleporter on our hands.
A what? You think it teleported? Come on. That's crazy talk.
Crazy talk, is it? Open your eyes. How else does an ordinary banana go from...
Yep, I remember this. Oh, great. Now he's got to start going crazy.
How the hell?
That's funny. I could have sworn we tore it off from the rest of them.
Funny, I could have sworn I saw you do it not a minute ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think we might be onto something.
Kinda seems like it, huh?
Interesting experiment you've got going on there, Okabe Rintaro. Or
Step
wait,
back! Just
I'm sorry, is it Hoenn Kioma?
Touched by danger zone.
Makise.
These bananas are
Misu.
mine.
So that's the end of the second episode thus far.
Okay.
Jeez.
I
do actually remember that scene with the banana.
There's again trying to stay unbiased, but one thing I hate about modern, not just anime, but modern like media as a whole, is that there's a lot of times where the coming up on the next episode will completely ruin
Yeah.
the next episode.
Yes.
Like the favorite one I like to go to is, oh, is Goku gonna finally defeat Frieza? Find out on the next episode of Frieza defeated. Like, fucking A. Give it everything.
What's gonna happen? Title card.
Yeah,
Fuck!
exactly. What's gonna happen? Here's the end of the movie. So trailers, especially nowadays, I find will ruin like 3/4 of the movie, or usually give away plot to us. And it's like they're not like, if it's a subtle mention like, oh, this guy has the same scars as killers, but we're not going to make note of it or something, like that's fine. But to be like, oh no, you killed somebody, and then the show like that guy's silhouette, it's like, oh, I fucking know which character that is now.
No, so you say that there's actually a famous movie that everyone remembers that actually was ruined. There was a plot twist that they were trying to have in the second in the sequel, but it got ruined in the trailer for Terminator 2. They were trying to hide the fact that the Terminator was actually going to be the good guy, and they showed it in the trailer, and everyone was pissed off that they ruined it.
Sorry.
You're lost in thought and time travel?
No, I'm actually quite very much in thought about the series.
Yeah.
I think it's intriguing. I'm enjoying it. I think it's funny in an entertaining way, not funny in a comical, this is getting annoying, I don't want to see more way.
I know we're putting in our 2 cents into
It
that.
definitely gives its goofy comedy portions, but they're very much in character. Like even like obviously Okabe, like his character, he's playing up the delusional nut, but you can see where he has like very big differences in like his layers of personnel. Like that's almost a front to protect himself. You can see like he's obviously like insecure to a degree, and I don't know, like you can tell a lot by these characters by like their interactions with one another. Like there's a lot of anime, like I was saying, I like the a lot of the action based stuff where there's a lot less character development and a lot more like fisticuffs, but I really like I think a good staple of a show is being able to, the in-between of like characters just talking and hanging out and being like, I'm enjoying this, not just the, all right, get to the next fight. And there's very few series that I think like do that, where every little bit feels like you're kind of enjoying the company of these characters. you know, whether you feel like you're a part of the group or you're just kind of like reading it almost like it's a really well developed book.
That absolutely is something that's missing in a lot of series where because of that they end up having less and less downtime and it just becomes one disjointed collection of action moments.
Definitely. And there's a lot of modern shonen which I feel fail at that, and kind of I won't bring it up a ton or like go deep into it, but one of the older ones, Yu Yu Hakusho, I think was really good at having those in-between moments where the characters are like literally hanging out, talking on a train between, oh, we gotta go fight this big baddie of the week, and like you're learning more about the characters and you're kind of seeing them develop, like, you know, as a person, but it's enjoyable to watch, and it's not just, all right, shut up and get to the next fight, which I really enjoy. And there's like I mean, I've said it 3 times now, like there's very few that do it now, and there's even fewer that do it right, but like this is one of those shows where I can watch it and like the in-between to the big dramatic reveals, it's like just as interesting as the big dramatic reveals. And I wouldn't say I'm alone in that. I may be alone in it, but it's definitely something that stands out more than like your average anime.
Yeah, don't worry about pitchforks in this one. I actually agree on that.
Now, would you guys like to continue watch another episode or two?
I say let's go for it because it's already interesting. I want to know what happened to that fucking banana.
Oh, you never see the banana again. He's not a recurring character.
God,
he gets written off.
Hey, sorry, I tried knocking, but no one came.
But how'd you ferret us out?
I asked Hashida for the street address. Though I gotta admit, I was expecting less of a frat pad and more of an actual lab.
Idiot, you betrayed me to this nattering vixen?
Huh? It's okay, we were ill-prepared to deal with a 3-dimensional woman.
Well, aha! The battle for Daru's soul is not over. I'm on to you. Matahari!
Could you please tell him I'm not a spy?
My telling him so is not going to do you very much good.
We are undone. The organization's finally worked an agent into our sanctum sanctorum. What? Our present calamity can't be the choice of Steins Gate.
What in the hell is a Steins Gate?
It's just a phrase he's partial to. It doesn't mean anything.
Sure, yeah. Why would I expect anything he says to make sense?
Reference to the
Off with the boots!
Huh? Oh, sorry. Guess I spent too much time in the States.
But even little comments like that, you're like, oh.
I'm Makise Kurisu. Might as well do it official-like, huh? Well, what's the matter? Are you one of those Japanese guys who shakes hands like a dead fish? Don't wet yourself.
They've probably taught you 20 ways to kill a man. Can you blame me for not jumping headlong into oblivion?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Inside? I came here to find out why you were so surprised to see me alive, or if that was just your clever excuse to go poking around in my coat. And that...
Barrel world paranoia.
Generally, if a woman comes into your place of residence and finds a decomposing banana, she doesn't go over to look more.
Science be damned.
At least I'm guessing.
The rest are still attached to
I don't know what girls
Doesn't
do.
look faked.
She's packing a doomsday device. Don't you take your eyes off her for a nanosecond.
Sure thing, boss.
Got tweezers?
No.
Fine.
Immediately,
Viscous
no hesitation.
consistency. Flavor? Yuck. Not good.
Sad zombie. Eating that in lieu of brain matter? I'd have given
Recurring
you a
joke.
banana.
Yeah,
You
still plugging
pervert.
the zombie.
Jeez, you just want to watch me eat a banana.
No!
Isn't it enough that you were groping me practically the moment we met?
I don't mean to interrupt anything, but
What?
you know how you said you just want to watch me eat a banana a second ago? Could you, repeat that for me? Only this time, whisper it a little bit.
Why would I do that?
God. Instantly.
What's the problem? It's a perfectly innocuous request. Unless, no, that would be impossible. Something that nasty wouldn't occur to you. What sprang to mind? We're all dying to know.
You know damn well what I thought, because you thought it first.
Awesome.
No, it's not.
Oh, methinks the lady with the fruit fixation doth protest too much.
I don't have a fixation. Listen, while I'd love to run screaming to the cops about the pair of you perverts, I'm going to hold off for now.
For now, huh?
The you-know-what on the table? Don't even start. The microwave did that, right?
That's top secret. Avert your eyes, woman. Future gadget numero 8 is our laboratory's most diabolical weapon.
She's pretty smart, man. No point playing keep away if she can tell us how the thing works.
Yeah, smart and evil.
By the time you and me figure it out, we're gonna have flying cars and junk.
But everything in the future gadget lab is for members'
Don't
eyes
be
only.
comparing sizes back there.
You there! Christina, you said your name was?
Yeah, never said that.
I will divulge its secrets to you if and only if. Firstly, you must join our sacred brotherhood of anarchic science, the Future Gadget Laboratory.
You're really going to make me join your stupid lab to look at your microwave? I mean, I guess I could, but I'm headed back home to the United States in August, so...
Your membership is provisional. Now, secondly, you do not run screaming to the cops about us being perverts. Take it.
But what if you're
Hey,
perverts?
If you ever get burned down on science, you'd be one hell of a lawyer, my friend. Serious, you rule at the Smooth Talk.
Thank you, Daru. Now, you've no qualms about my generous condition.
Go back to your corn, Daru.
Generous to you, maybe. Me? I'm one banana comment away from fight or flight.
You haven't said no, Christina.
That isn't my name, you nutjob.
All right, you're the zombie.
How would you like it, hoeing carcinoma?
Kioma. Watch your tongue, banana mouth.
Banana mouth.
In the
Holy
movies,
shit.
this is when you two'd get busy.
Give it a rest, perv! Okay, I accept.
At least they
On one
agreed.
condition, though, you need to give it a rest with all the fruit-based innuendo. I wouldn't want to have to start reaching for the pepper spray.
Ah, sweet victory. I hereby nomenclate you
It's only
lab
because
member
he's not American. That
004.
would have been a gun.
Also known as Christina.
No, I am not.
When you're on a chicken bender, grab a box of chicken tenders. Buck, buck, buck.
Oh my god.
Like that.
Doesn't make
Wow.
it so. You can't just go with your first
You can't say that's not stupid,
Suppose you
Q.
have us go with yours.
How can someone be so goddamn happy?
I think teleporter is premature.
3, 4.
Denial.
Oh, we have a guest.
A pleasure to meet you.
Ignorance.
I'm Makise Kurisu. I hope my being here didn't startle you.
I'm Sheena Mayuri.
Is she
Are
upset
you a
'cause
member
now
of
she's
the
not
lab?
only girl
I
in
just
the room?
became one myself.
Yes,
Seriously?
very upset.
A girl? I won't be the only one.
Is it that big of a deal?
I'm not surrounded!
Super
The only other girl I knew was a
deal.
dude!
You're the only girl who's ever been up here other than me. Can you believe it?
You don't say.
Do you like chicken
Nice
tenders?
to meet ya.
Thank
You're
you.
not a dude, are you?
Likewise.
Deuce,
What's up?
there was an electrical discharge.
What? Why didn't you tell me about that sooner? Give me all of the relevant data you have.
Well, lightning came out of the microwave. Yeah, that pretty much covers it.
When exactly?
Wow.
Yesterday,
Science?
around noon, I think. You tore out of here after they showed that crashed satellite on TV. So I guinea pigged my phone onto it.
When I texted from the radio building, you're telling me the phone wave real name TBA was actually wired into your cell phone?
That nutty one about Makise getting 86th? You fired that thing off to me last week.
The hell I did! I sent it yesterday, at noon! Where'd it go? It should be right here, damn it!
What was the microwave doing when it got zapped?
I was running some tests on it, trying to see if I could get the turntable to go counterclockwise.
We should try to recreate those same conditions.
Mayuri, will your chicken tenders heed the call of science?
Yes. Chicken tenders taste best when you eat them with friends.
Why are we putting
Gotta be
those things
fucking
in
gone.
there again?
I want to see if superfluous
Like
material
friends with
affects
side
the
dish
insult.
or condiment or
Engage.
like pureed French sauce.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Now then, send me a
Turning
text,
into Hannibal
assistant.
Lecter very
Okay,
fast.
first of all, I am not your
show.
assistant. And even if I were, I don't know your phone number.
So hard to find good help. Daru, your phone will have to suffice.
What do you want it to say?
How about Christina is a pervert?
Don't go pushing your luck, jerkwad.
How about I just split the difference? Okareed is a pervert. What do you think?
What?
Attaboy. Good thinking.
Firing torpedoes,
That would have been better
Captain.
if she punched him right there.
And now, we play the waiting
I
game.
bet you those tenders are nice and hot.
Mayuri, no!
At least it was nice enough to cover.
Tells me we're not going to be doing
You all right?
chicken tenders.
Okay, live chicken.
Suck
is
it,
out
AC.
there, moving.
You can't. You have a
What
shackle on
just
your
happened?
foot.
Electromagnetic pulse?
Don't be an idiot. We're talking about a microwave you probably bought secondhand at some pawn shop, not a hydrogen bomb.
My chickies are charcoal. They'll
Oh my
never be
God.
tender again.
What are we
The
gonna
biggest
do about
tragedy
that
in
hole in the
anime.
floor? Mr. Braun's gonna burst a
Chicky
blood
Tenders,
vessel.
2011.
That's right. She calls them tendies.
Well?
Jackpot. Received July 24th at 5:30 p.m. It really went back in time.
Did you figure something out?
Something more like everything! My sterling brain has sliced through this riddle in one fell swoop!
Seriously?
Riddle sliced through your brain.
Just as the banana has returned to the bunch from whence it was taken, this text has jumped 5 days into the past!
You already got one.
Oh, God.
Would mean...
Yes, exactly! This humble kitchen appliance is...
Broken?
Yes.
a time machine!
Joke's on you, my brain's now pudding.
Yeah. Joke's on you, we put my brain in the microwave.
It's mashed cauliflower.
It's melting dew flavor, just like everything else.
13 new text messages? Who's SF? Oh, yeah. That shrinking violet I christened Shining Finger. Should have called her Hyperactive Finger. Text me right away. Hey, are you asleep yet? How long you gonna sleep, do you think? Daru!
Must be nice to have a girlfriend.
I don't know what that's like, but
Morning walk.
there's a maid cafe that can tell me
Burn
otherwise.
the midnight oil for nothing. I'm getting a little low on morale. Plus, my
They're dudes.
2D harem hates me. Why aren't they turning into gel
Great, that's gonna be a
nanas
running joke now.
Beats me. How come we can't send any more texts back in time?
Maybe we should pick Makisei's brain again.
The SS Christina has sailed.
No. But that's impossible.
And she just nopes out of there. Nope!
Fuck this!
That's the last we saw of her.
Why'd she get so freaked out?
What am I looking at?
Just the LHC.
Huh?
Wow.
Large Hadron
Looks like a
Collider.
turbo engine.
CERN's particle accelerator.
Oh,
Ain't
Waiting
she a
for
bit
her
of
space
beauty?
to change.
My
this.
head hurts. Oh my god.
CERN maintains a strict monopoly on the time machine market.
I am still getting a lot of
Teeter.
that feeling of the Mandela effect.
That
now.
guy? The one you were going on about?
Definitely has a good
Suddenly,
thread
there's
to this
people
story.
talking about him all
More
over
than
the
people-
internet.
a
does it
few
stand
people
for?
Theorizing that.
In his post, John Teeter says
John
that CERN
Teeter's
completes a
and
working time
CERN's
machine by
work
2034.
has actually
Too
triggered
early for
that,
crazy talk.
Just tell me, what does it
Wouldn't be
stand
shocked
for?
at this point.
Get off my jock and I'll tell you. CERN's full
Get
name
off
is
my
the European
jock.
Organization in Nuclear Research. They're based outside Geneva. Their big thing is particle physics
hear there's a
research,
dimension
hence the
there.
name. And rightly so. Check out the hardware these cats are packing.
Yeah, as I
The
mentioned
low
before,
energy anti-proton
pulled
ring,
from a lot of
the
real
proton
life
synchrotron booster,
which is
the large electron
This is
positron
great,
'cause if you
collider,
go
and the
dig
baddest
really deep,
mamma
like
jamma,
I
the
did for
world's
some of the
largest
stuff,
particle
there's a ton of
accelerator,
shit.
the
Like,
Large
how did you guys
Hadron
even hear
Collider.
about this without being around then? Like, it's crazy.
There were even rumors going around that the LHC could produce micro black holes. If anything could, that'd be it.
That
Black
actually
holes,
looks good.
you
I'm
know.
hungry.
Daru,
Uh-huh.
is there or isn't there a prevalent school of thought that posits time travel is possible through the creation and exploitation of
Jokes on you,
miniature
all the
black
dudes are
holes?
women in this one.
Yeah,
Damn
there
it.
is. But Maki says
it,
lecture pretty much let the daylight through that one.
After my chastity,
She said it's impossible to create black holes to begin with.
is a road.
You just told me maybe the LHC could do it. Who's to say they
Oh,
haven't?
yeah. Nah. CERN told everybody they struck out, man.
Please, as though I would just blithely take their word for it. It's me. He's so naive, I know.
So naive.
Congro.
Want to remind me what windmill we're tilting at now?
At this juncture,
no idea
Daru,
that
we've
I'm
but
a
one course of action.
Go visit Ferris at the Maid Cafe.
Wrong! Don't make me fight this fight alone. I need your exemplary elite skills, hack.
Stop, and don't talk nerd to me.
You know what must be done.
No, and I
Nerd
don't
enough
want to
as
hear
it
this.
is. Now where's my cat lady?
We hack into CERN. Simple.
Oh, this isn't going to be good.
You're kidding. Tell me you're kidding.
Break into their network and gather intel on their time travel program. Your prowess with a keyboard will determine whether the phone wave, real name TBA, slips the bonds of time or is condemned to a life of desultory heating.
Don't get pissy if it doesn't work.
Here you go, 2 beef bowls.
Huh?
That'll be 800 yen.
Ocarine!
Cheap ass
Bamboozled.
bastard.
Hard
No,
work,
he's a
I see.
scientist. For
Yeah,
the
cheap
future.
ass
You know
bastard.
it. The shop doesn't get any customers. I'm dying of boredom.
Should have gotten work at a bike store.
Fess up. What kind of hijinks are you guys getting up to? With a name like Future Gadget Laboratory, it's gotta be.
Who divulged that name? Aha, well, if you know that much, I suppose you can handle the truth.
Damn it, you
Taking
can
up
read.
arms against a so-called benign group that fancies itself a shadow government. We're just about to fire the first shot in a vicious cyber war, in fact.
Wow, that sounds pretty hardcore. And the group you're talking about, it's CERN, yeah?
How do you know that?
My bad. See, I heard you going on about it. I just get so bored down here, and voices carry, you know?
So you admit to spying on us, then?
Not my fault I got good ears. Ah, but don't worry about it. Your secret is safe with me.
Look, the secret, not a dude.
Not again.
What is it, the Daily Death Report?
The Daily what now?
Oh, nothing. It's a line from a show.
Just a retro PC fangirl. She wants me to help her find an IBN 5100.
IBM?
So you've heard of it?
Kinda. Maybe.
I lost my virginity to one.
Key years of yours?
Those early online chat rooms were
She's talking
steamy.
about it online. You know that time traveler dude, John Titor or whatever?
Teeter was?
Yeah, I read all about it on some web forum or other. He was saying something like the IBM 5100 was built before PCs were using BASIC, so it can read IBM's proprietary programming code, which no other PC can.
Is 100% correct.
When he first showed up on the boards in 2000, didn't Teeter...
Are my books there?
My board?
It's curious. All of you seem to embrace a very entrenched concept of time. Contrary to your beliefs, time is not a river flowing from past to future in an inexorable current. For example, let's say I go back in time and kill somebody we'll call A. Doing so will lead to an alteration of what is known as the divergence number, and the world line will shift to a universe without A. When a world line shifts, people's memories are changed accordingly. So, memories of the world in which A continued to exist are nullified and overwritten with memories of a world line in which his life was cut short by my actions.
Please explain. How exactly does
So
CERN, a
basically
benign
saying you go back in
research
time,
organization, end up
you don't
becoming a
change
tyrannical
history.
oligarchy?
No.
Kind of hard to understand.
CERN is not so benign as they would have you believe.
He goes against the butterfly
For example,
effect theory.
they've already succeeded in producing
It'll
miniature
go
black
back and
holes.
change it for you.
Perhaps the
You could still-
easiest way to characterize my future is to return to 18th century living standards under a global framework of communism.
But there was also a theory
In
that
2036, CERN controls most of the world's technology and scientific
John
knowledge.
Tia brought up.
And you require an IBN 5100 to prevent this future of yours from occurring, I assume?
That is correct.
Time very similar to his.
The IBN 5100's singular abilities are needed to halt CERN's ambitions.
Almost dimensions. If you want
If memory serves, you said much the same thing in your posts when you appeared in 2000.
When I appeared in 2000, you
Go
say?
back in time and get one of
As
those
I've stated
5100s.
before, I've never had
Why you
occasion
didn't
to
put it
travel
in a
to the year
sealed,
2000.
safe place so that you would
However,
be safe in the
there's always the
future.
possibility that you
So
remember
on
me
any
from another
timeline,
world line.
that
I'm
diverged
intrigued.
after that.
I would very much like
would
to
still
speak
be
with you
there.
at some
Well,
point.
technically, by theory, it may not be there in that
This is my email address.
Well, yes, but if you do it
If you
before
contact
they,
me,
that
I
one
will reply.
diverges off yours if you go back far enough.
The question is, we know what happens.
Maybe he just didn't think it would be safe.
Perhaps.
There,
Maybe, 'cause you
Daru.
never know who can find it.
But that's the funny
Clear
thing
it
that
out,
people may
the
not know
SQL
about the
database tables
5100.
configuration.
There was a handful of fucking
Good
people who
morning.
knew about the programming and
Oh,
its
hey,
abilities
Mayuri. What are you
before
up to
John
this
Cheever
glorious
released it
morn?
online.
Since
So
you stayed up
either
2
he was
nights in a
really
row, I
well
thought you might like
informed,
some tasty snacks.
part of that
Yeah.
group, or I mean,
Ooh,
it
canned
owns
noodle
some
stew.
credibility too.
Once
as
again,
far
your
as the
contribution to the
parties,
cause is
whether you wanna believe it or
inspiring.
not.
I can't treat often,
Super
but today's
interesting.
special. See, I needed to get some of these Rhinette sausages anyway. They're giving away a free Oopa with every single box you buy.
You and your Oopas.
No Oopas come with your stew, but it's still tasty. Daru and Kurusu get their own cans too, so no sharing.
The fail is strong with this one.
Oh,
Didn't
God.
even hear me, did he?
There's nothing sadder than a hackaholic, Mayuri.
Keep going, Hack! You can do it! We believe in you 100%!
Now you got her saying it!
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you!
Yes,
It isn't nice to go snooping around in other people's
when you
stuff.
adopt a nickname,
We
that
have
you
to
don't
bring
want,
CERN's
but everybody
iniquities to
starts call
light.
you that.
Yeah, I
I wonder
know,
how
but
that's like.
I think maybe Kurisu ran away because she didn't think it was very nice either.
Whatever reason she had for leaving the lab, I can guarantee you the hacking wasn't it.
I hope she comes back someday. I liked her a whole lot.
She was female.
Yeah. She had no peni.
Huh? How come?
I'd like to exchange this fish cake for a beef strip.
Yeah? Can I trade for a quail egg instead?
Not a chance. Quail eggs are my second favorite after the beef strips.
They're my first favorite. Pretty please?
How about a fish tube? They're pretty good.
I guess that's better than a beef strip.
It's a pleasure doing business with you, madam.
Okay, one beef strip coming. Where did...
Already took it.
Huh? But wouldn't you... Wow.
Much obliged, Mary.
It's even a stupid scene about
such a rogue stealing
ramen
hearts.
Noodles. You learn like a decent amount about the character.
In your face!
Interact.
In your face, sir! All your base will belong to me!
Oh,
you have
God
no
damn it.
chance. Make your time! Yeah, fake user ID, get!
You're inside?
Shinadaru for the win!
I don't know what you did, but I'm really proud of you.
Now, don't get too excited. I did hack our way in, but there are limits to what we can see without an admin ID, and that ain't gonna happen. Like when an H game just shows you the boobs, you know?
Oh,
You're
good
so
lord.
naughty, Daru.
What'd you find?
Mike, mind out of the gutter.
Couple emails so far, but the day's still young.
It's quite a bit of text. Should be hard
The
copy
day's
for
still
safety.
young.
No,
Like,
it's okay.
apparently
I got
his
locked in.
taste.
Experiment report, February 9.
Spare
When
me
was
the
this
dramatic
program?
reenactment,
Okay, it's legal.
please.
Suit yourself. Okay. The LHC is performing as intended. It is a fickle device, to be sure, but the last month's work has gone forward without a hitch.
What's he talking about?
Uh-huh.
What about the time machine? Somebody must have discussed it in one of these messages.
Yes.
Let's give it a whirl. Time machine is coming up a goose egg. But the term Z program was used about 100 times in the past month.
Zombies.
Okay. Z program experiment report 137. As the goal of generating miniature black holes has already been met, the contents of this report have been deleted. Whoa.
Which
They were successful.
Teeter
It looks
talked
that
about
way.
in the
But
early
they told
2000s.
everyone those experiments totally
Nobody
bombed.
fucking even like
Read the next one.
knew had a clue
Outcome
what
of
this
trial.
stuff that he had talked about that CERN's not doing until hasn't been doing until the last few
Human
years
is dead.
that was public.
Right, or
Yeah.
at least didn't admit to. So
Yeah.
either he had inside
It's
information
dead.
or something.
Yeah, some type of credibility.
Or they copied him.
Yeah, seriously.
Clearly.
Human is dead.
He was a T2.
So yeah, that's a pretty good taste into the series and like
Yeah.
how the characters develop and you know just a little bit of their personality flares and how they conflict but still work together and
Well, I'm
Still.
clearly intrigued and definitely entertained. So I would like to watch more of this. I plan on watching more of
oh
this with you
definitely.
guys.
So hopefully when you catch us next time we'll you know continue to just dive into the series, but it's like I've mentioned, it's a big favorite of mine. I'm not sure where it would place in my top 10, but it's definitely up there. It hits a lot of notes for what like things I enjoy as far as an anime series goes, like really engaging characters. It shows them develop over time, and obviously like character growth, which I think is important. But it comes at me from like three different angles of like one, John Titor was a thing that actually happened. Whether you believe it true, you know, his tale true or not, but that's something I followed greatly, like around a little after the time it came out. Two, the voice actor, J. Michael Tatum, who I didn't know was a part of this until well after I was kind of introduced to him. You know, I actually met him and talked to him, and really chill guy, but he he's very much a charismatic individual, so I think that comes out in the character, but, you know, it kind of culminates for me at quite a few spots, which again, it makes me really enjoy the series.
And three, you like bananas?
Hey, that's my favorite part.
I love bananas, and what they do to bananas is a crime.
Yeah, the problem is
turn them into dew when you could be turning them into Dr. Pepper. I mean, come on.
Also, there's no real bananas anymore, guys. So.
You know what's really sad about the bananas, though? Not spoilers aside, you won't find out till later, but the banana is actually a dude.
Yeah, it's a dude.
It's a dude.
Which is weird. Dr. Pepper's a chick. It was really Miss Sprite. No, but seriously, like watching this makes me want to do more research on Teeter because, again, I did a lot of like Mandela effect stuff and studying because a lot of my favorite content creators were actually talking about it and like the whole, like for instance, the Berenstain or Berenstain Bears situation. That was a big thing for a while.
This touches on a lot of those keynotes well before that became kind of a pop culture thing. Yeah, and that's something. I mean, I won't get into deep details, but that's something I've always kind of believed in because I have a very strong memory, and I always have. Like I can remember certain conversations I've had with people and what they were wearing, and it's just how my brain works. I don't got like a photographic memory where it's like everything I've ever done I remember to the umpteenth, but there's a lot of even insignificant things I remember just the way somebody was standing. And to go with the Mandela effect, there's certain things I remember about how things used to be in my head, and it could be just stupid kid brain, but I remember things very specifically, and those have changed over time to be nothing like they originally were. You know, anything from the way something was like the Bernstein Bears to like the way words are pronounced, to the way like people have experienced things, like past experiences.
So basically the difference between just having like a lucid memory to the actual like hedged fact that actually was the case, but apparently it was changed for you.
For me, it's like literally putting in a VHS and be like, yeah, I remember that, and like being able to replay it in your head. There's certain things I can do like that, which is, you know, it's just whatever. But there's definitely things that I remember very specifically, like I do everything else. And again, it could be, you know, just, you know, the past and memories being faulty, but it's definitely something that's always intrigued me because of that, which is what I'm getting into.
This series seems to be using the concept of time travel in a very good way as far as from a writing standpoint. Yeah. There's some films that I think use it as a crutch, some films that I think use it in just a really stupid way.
The worst is when somebody tries to yada 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 away an explanation with time travel. Like, oh, whatever, he's here because her twin brother in time travel or something. Like, there's I really appreciate the way they approached it, and they go, I think, I mean, you got a good taste of it, but they go, I think, with a much deeper kind of theory on it than they almost needed to. And not that I love that they do it, because it's kind of risky in a sense, because if you explain, like with anything else, if you explain too much, it can kind of ruin it, but also it'd be easy to poke holes in. The way they go through it, and even later in the series, like, there's not a lot of places you could be like, wait a second, that's how it is or how it should be. You're like, I could actually see this happening.
So the obvious ultimate question, if you had access to a time machine, what would you do? In a very simple one-sentence answer.
Ooh, that is actually a very good
question. I'll take it from two different perspectives. One, I absolutely had to, for whatever reason, and the other would be, or my primary answer would be that I would be so afraid of the consequences of the potential, not just the butterfly effect, but say you did change time, you know, for your own universe, your own world, or whatever you want to explain. So when you go back, things would be different. Not the butterfly effect that most people think of, where like, oh, butterfly over here flaps its wings and causes a tremor in Japan, big earthquake and stuff. Like, not like so much great world affecting, but even just making, you know, the simple stuff of like, all right, I tell this guy that he's gonna die then, so I'm able to change it enough when so he, you know, survives whatever encounter it is. That could alter anything from somebody else dying to you simply not even meeting somebody, and like even like trying to avoid like some type of heartache, you know, whether it's, you know, love or, you know, any type of relationship. I feel like the risk is too great where you would change it to the degree of where you might not even recognize yourself when you come back.
I was just say, you say that too, because that was the first thing I was thinking about. Was like, honestly, the first thing I would want to change is a mistake, but the same thing. For changing one simple mistake that you made even as a kid, or just like not thinking correctly, that would, basically it would just drastically change everything around you, whether it be like, you know, kind of we were talking about like the subtle difference of like volcano across the seas, or someone else is going to die instead, or someone else is going to have this situation. But even the subtle differences, it may drastically change your future.
For me, I feel like I'm living in the screwed up, changed, failed future, so I'd be going back to try to correct that, and it's an obvious answer now.
One thing that I've always believed is, obviously you're a culmination of your past experiences, and you as a person could very much change. I mean, granted, if you still retain the memories, it'd be one thing. But living in that falsehood would never really sit comfortably with me, because you would I mean, I overanalyze and overthink everything, which has screwed me over a lot of opportunities. But I would worry about what I've changed and affected by me simply going back and winning the lottery or what have you. You know, if somebody dies, one of my friends dies in a couple of years, or somebody gets in a really bad car accident, you know, that like fucks them up for life. Like, did I do that? Did something I change alter that? To even like, I mean, to get a little personal, you know, I've had several dogs over the course of my life. Love my dogs very much. They're part of the family, and I would do anything for them.
They're good boys.
Well, I have had dogs with very serious health conditions that may or may not have been able to have been, you know, fixed or altered if I had found out earlier. And if I had gone back in time, you know, say 6-7 years, I might not even meet the dogs that are part of my family now. So I'd be throwing away my current life. Yeah, it would be like almost like throwing yourself to the woods and hoping you survive, because I don't know how much things worse would be. And yeah, I would hope for the best, but man, there's no fucking telling what could happen.
You know, it's sad. I actually have I have no problem admitting what I would want to change, because it wasn't a situation where I knew something was going on, or like, you know, there was a death in the family. No, I made a simple mistake as a kid, and where I had a grandfather that couldn't really take care of himself, and the entire family was pitching in. I was that dumb, like 8-9-year-old that just didn't think about what was going on around me, or like having the responsibilities to actually take care of things. I wasn't paying attention to my grandfather, and he ended up boiling himself in the bathtub. We had to rush him to the hospital because his muscles were peeling off his bone. So, and I felt terrible about that. But at the same time, if I went back in time to change that, what would happen? I mean, it's not like he didn't pass away because of that, but he did end up passing away because of the problem he had. So, but what would that change in the future?
Yeah, and not even to downplay that, but because of that memory and that experience, that obviously made an impression with you, but that part of that helped form who you are. And at the time, you might have been like banging your head against a brick wall, regretting your actions. But even like with something like that, or something as simple as like, I've had a lot of relationships where I've acted really badly, and whether it's my fault or not, and you know, not even just like romantic relationships, but friend relationships where like I wish I was still friends with these people. I still miss these people, you know, who are drastically different now. But I mean, part of it's life, but I'm kind of thankful for some of that, because of, you know, I was able to move on from even really close friendships I had. I'm able to experience different and new friendships that I might have been limited to before, because either I was spending too much time with them, or hell, we could have moved halfway across. I mean, you could say anything really. Yeah. But I definitely, it makes, like, thinking about that makes me kind of try not to take for granted the things I currently have, which, you know, I'm not usually the cheerful, like, silver lining type of guy, but there's definitely good that can come out of the worst of things, and I you know, try to realize that when it happens, and usually it's too far gone before I do. But
and like what you're saying, like, even with those great relationships or even bad relationships, that formed who you are. That made you the person you are, and basically, for the better or worse, you learn from it. And that's basically, let's be honest, that's the human race in a nutshell. Yeah. We make mistakes, we learn from it.
Oh yeah, well, we try. I mean, I've not to say I'm special, because I fuck up a lot. I try to learn from it.
Just remember, guys, just because you learn something doesn't necessarily mean you learn something beneficial. Sometimes you can learn a negative.
Not at all. True. But I mean, there's definitely like experiences that have left me very fucking jaded and have given me really bad complexes. But I mean,
it's not just. I'm not just talking about learning not to do that again because I was a failure. Sometimes you can literally learn something that.
Oh yeah,
is a hindrance.
Well, like for instance, like when I was brought up, our family didn't have a lot of money. It was my mother taking care of 3 kids. So as an adult now, I don't cherish the fact of money. I'm told to be a frugal person, but I put most of my money away because you never know when that funnel of funds going into your bank account is gonna stop. So it's good to have just a little bit of balance money just in case. There's a reason why I nicknamed my bank account the "oh shit" fund. So
there's definitely things that'll like there's things that have happened to me that have implanted thoughts and ideas, especially with being an overthinker, where I will usually think or feel the worst thing, even if it's not even remotely the situation, but my brain will jump to that conclusion, and I'm banging my head against the wall to fight those thoughts.
Yeah.
And those are learned experiences that are bad traits that I have. I recognize them, which is whatever, but there's a lot of things that can really fuck you up.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, things can always be worse, which is not really saying anything. But I mean, at the very least of it, like, don't take for granted the things you have. As much as it's sounding like a Hallmark special. Sorry for getting
more
so,
you know.
Yeah, so personal about these things. But there's a lot of ways you can look at it, and it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But I don't know. It's just I've always enjoyed looking at different perspectives, and whether they're my own or somebody else's that I completely disagree with.
One of the reasons why we're all friends.
Yeah,
because we can actually discuss things.
Oh yeah, we do have similar tastes. But there's a few things we definitely vary on quite a bit. And the fact that we can have an open discussion about it and not want to or try to kill each other. There might be times we get so frustrated like we have to leave the room, which is just human nature. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we're still friends. No, you can't, Michael.
That's also part of the reason why we've tried to start this channel, just because we have interesting discussions between us.
Yeah.
And hopefully other people find them interesting too. If not, well... Sorry.
Yeah, it's not like we have the complete same taste. By the way, we apologize if it went a complete dramatic turn, but this is kind of fitting, especially with what we're watching here.
That's Mr. Raincloud over here making the mistake of
not even that. Like this.
What would you change about your crappy life?
No, but actually that was a fantastic question. But again, it fits so well with this series that we're watching now, because basically it's that what if machine about... I mean, we're talking about a main character that apparently has been time traveling without even realizing it, because apparently someone's phone was next to the microwave.
Well, once we get further into this series, we'll send you some links about the
I want to learn more of that.
we've done.
And that's the thing. I want to find out more about that, because I want to see how similar and how it actually connects with the Mandela effect, because that's like the big thing now.
I definitely recommend, it would be interesting for you as soon as we're done this to start reading up, and then maybe we'll have a discussion about it like a week or two later once you've kind of had things to culminate, because it'll be...
I have free time.
Because documentaries about CERN that'll make your head spin.
But it'd be cool to have a different perspective of like, alright, so I saw the anime series first, and now coming into the John Titor stuff and seeing how things correlate, and coming from that like different angle, you might see things that we didn't, which would be really neat.
And speaking of which, funny enough, this actually reminded me of a game that I was actually playing on the Vita, which I believe was also it was released on a couple other platforms, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. But basically, it was the Nonary games, and one of the big Nonary games actually talked about time travel, where it was all wrapped around what's the cat? Thank you. Someone help me.
Schrodinger's cat.
Thank you. But basically going back, like every time the guy either would start to freak out, he would jump into another part of the timeline. And honestly, that may be something that, on our other channel, Double Shot Co-op, we can actually review that. And that actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun to kind of dance back and forth, especially kind of build ideas like between series and see like the way people approach kind of a similar concept, but from a different or varying perspective.
Also, the game, Virtue's Last Reward, that's actually what it's called, but it's actually based off the Nonary games. I know there was a sequel for the PlayStation 4 that we could probably visit, unless you want to go right to that one. So...
well, I wanted to once again thank everyone for joining us. We went a little bit longer this time, but I hope these discussions kind of pique everybody's interest, and even if you have a completely different perspective, throw it at us.
Let us know, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely, seeing things from the other side is never a bad thing, even if you disagree. It's easy to demonize somebody for having a different perspective from you, but, to really kind of take things from their side of their viewpoint or sitting in their shoes is difficult, but I think it's important, especially nowadays.
Well said.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for bringing this up, man.
Oh, well, can't wait to
we
see
ain't
what
done
else
yet, so...
See you guys next time.
More to come.